Shedeur Sanders and Cleveland Browns face new spotlight as rookie minicamp begins. Ashley Bastock, Cleveland, Ohio, as the Cavs prepared to take on the Indiana Pacers in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series on Sunday. Focus among Cleveland fans was perhaps a little diverted. During this year's postseason, as part of each pregame ramp-up, the Cavs have a new tradition. One notable Cleveland athlete or personality removes a sword from a giant Cavs C logo at midcourt in an effort to pump up the crowd, and rumor that night was new Browns rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders was in the running. Fans milled about on the arena concourse, rushing to their seats in the hopes of catching a glimpse of the fifth-round pick. Rumors of supposed sightings abounded. In the pregame locker room, several Pacers players could even be heard discussing the Browns' decision to draft the Colorado QB and what the benefits of starting him would be. The Cavs went on to lose the game, and Sanders didn't hype up the arena in the pregame. The honor was given to Mark Price. Although rumors of him being in attendance courtside continued, this reporter never saw him. We've already gotten a taste of Sanders being a star in Cleveland and beyond, but I would argue it really begins in earnest today as rookie minicamp practices kick off. Sanders isn't scheduled to speak to reporters until Saturday, along with the other quarterback Cleveland drafted in the third round at 94 overall, Oregon's Dillon Gabriel. But there's no doubt going into this weekend that Sanders will be the main focus, despite a lengthy draft weekend slide and not being selected until pick no. 144 in the fifth round. He'll garner more attention than Gabriel or even defensive tackle Mason Graham, who the Browns took fifth overall. That's why I can't help but disagree with GM Andrew Berry, who pushed back on the notion that drafting Sanders was a blockbuster move on draft weekend. Nothing's been promised, Berry said on day 3 of the draft after the Browns traded up to get Sanders. Nothing will be given, so I may hesitate to characterize it as a blockbuster. That's not necessarily how we thought of the transaction, but we are excited to work with him. In terms of what the Browns gave up, the 166th and 192nd picks, in order to move up to 144, it may not have been a blockbuster transaction in terms of assets, but it absolutely is a blockbuster in terms of the celebrity Sanders already brings, and it must be managed correctly in order to avoid placing too much pressure on Sanders early or creating negative feelings among other players in the locker room. But the fact that Sanders has a blockbuster presence is not necessarily a negative. It's not even because of anything Sanders is explicitly doing. Of course, people are interested in him because of his last name, because he is Hall of Famer Deion Sanders' son. But even the Browns have said their experience with Shedeur Sanders has been more introverted than a lot of outside people would expect. He already made a visit to John Marshall High School in Cleveland after being drafted in order to surprise students. No announcement or begging for media coverage ahead of time. And of course, Sanders has grown up with his last name. This isn't anything new from him. I have always bought into the idea put forth by Deion Sanders throughout the pre-draft process that maybe no other quarterback in the class is as equipped to deal with all the scrutiny, attention, and work that comes with being in the NFL than his son. Yes, Shedeur Sanders has been at the center of plenty of online content. Only a fraction of it is through his and his family's own making, most notably the YouTube channel Well Off Media, run by Sanders' older brother, Deion Sanders Jr. But in many ways, the way Sanders carries himself, his mantra is legendary. It's emblazoned all over his house and clothes. The star power he already has from college, and his last name is a draw independent of anything else he does. He's a star in his own right already, and that will bring with it increased media, increased fan interest, and more eyeballs consuming content about him. It doesn't matter that Sanders was drafted in the 5th round. The attention is coming whether Cleveland wants it or not. Being the talk of the arena as a Cavs playoff game was about to begin is only the start of it. And how Sanders and the Browns handle that attention and those expectations will be key in the start of his NFL career. If you purchase a product or register for an account through a link on our site, we may receive compensation. By using this site, you consent to our user agreement and agree that your clicks, interactions, and personal information may be collected, recorded, and or stored by us and social media and other third-party partners in accordance with our privacy policy.